What's my number one secret for getting more sales right now? You know you want it. I mean, come on, I committed. Find out on today's ASTV. All right, y'all. So I am often asked, by the way, Jess just said you're giving I Love Lucy vibes. What do y'all think, right? It's so fun to pay for hair and makeup and then throw it up in this, by the way. So I am often asked, what's the best way to get sales now? I need sales now. There are a couple of things that are really important to getting sales now. It's kind of like what you did previously allows you to get sales now. But let's say that you didn't do the work previously. You know, what's the song? I don't want to do the work, go to work today. I don't want to do the work today. Oh yeah, let's say you had a season of not wanting to do the work, I certainly have. But now you need money. You need some customers, right? You need to get your groove back. You need some customers and you're able to help people at the same time. So you didn't do the work. What do? Well, my number one secret, if you need to get customers now and you haven't done the work, is be memorable. Now, why am I in this garb? Because it's memorable. It's different than how I show up, right? It's memorable. You don't have to do cheesy, funny hacks. That's not what I'm telling you, although sometimes they work. But there's evidence to back this up. And if you are thinking, but how, Kendrick? Stick with me. So, okay, first things first, y'all. This thing's itching, okay? So, yeah, there we go. So, be memorable. So, there's evidence to prove that I should be a hair model. I know that's what you're thinking. Okay, so there's evidence to prove that being memorable works. When I started in pharmaceutical sales, I was just another rep, right? And how, I mean, young, a stereotypical person that pharma hired. And I mean, I wasn't any different from everybody else. And so I needed to move my territory from dead last, the last territory in the world, to at least in the top something, you know, like there weren't high expectations because it was so low. It was just move it. But I was like, we're going to turn it around. And they're like, okay, sure we are. We're going to turn it around. That's what everybody says. That's what everybody thinks. And so one of the first things I did was I created a route and I created days. I'll tell you what I mean. We had Terrific Tuesdays where I was in the same offices on Tuesdays. And I called it Terrific Tuesday, and I made a big deal, which eventually led to Terrific Tuesday Tip of the Week. For those of you who get that, you're welcome. We had Wonderful Wednesday, where I was in a different set of offices every Wednesday. We had Thrill Me Thursday, which was where I was in a different set of offices. And I came bearing gifts, y'all. I mean, like I made a palooza out of it. It was palooza. Look it up. Let's look it up. What does palooza mean? Here we go. Palooza is a portion of the word Lollapalooza, which is a 19th century term that defines an extraordinary or unusual thing, person, event, an exceptional example or instance. Extraordinary, unusual. So my point here is I turned these things into a fun event. I was memorable. They learned, hey, that redhead's coming on Terrific Tuesday with coffee, and on Wonderful Wednesday or whatever it was, this redhead's coming. And eventually my territory went from last to first. So, being memorable, even if it's with some cheesiness in my Disney bathrobe, which also is about being memorable, I'll tell you in a minute. Being memorable is my number one secret to getting sales now. So how do you do that? Okay, Kendrick, great. How do I be memorable? How do I, I'm fabulous, but how do I become memorable to my customers? A couple of ways. One way is you figure out what your difference is. So we have here the authentic selling difference, just like Disney has the Disney difference. So you figure out what your difference is and you play into that. You figure out what you're good at. I'm okay with a little cheesiness, right? I'm okay. And there's actually a step-by-step way to figure out how you can be memorable so you can get sales now. So save your seat, RSVP at the link below, and be memorable. What makes you different? It doesn't have to be rocket science. What makes me different? Red hair, southern accent, over the top. Okay, great. That's a place to start. What makes you different? Everybody's unique. Don't say you don't have a difference. Notice that mine had nothing to do yet with my product or service. So the number one secret is be memorable. No cheese required. Register at the link below. And remember, I believe in you and I believe in your business.